Hey guys, welcome to another episode of The Vinyl Den, your channel for record collecting by record collectors. My name is Nick.
I'm Ian.
And today, since we're in the beginning part of 2022, we're going to talk about some of our, most anticipated albums of this year. If you haven't done so yet, make sure you click on that link down below. Go check out the Vinyl Den Facebook group. It's a cool place to continue the music conversation. There's also a couple other links down there. There's one for the Vinyl Den merch page. We got t-shirts and sweatshirts on there. There's a link for the Vinyl Den Patreon page. If you want to support the show, it's always greatly appreciated. There's also a link down there for the Vinyl Den Spotify playlist.
Yep.
So this week we'll kind of showcase some of the albums, some of the new music that we're going to be talking about today. And if you enjoyed the episode, make sure you give it the old thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button down below. And hit that notification bell so you're notified every time we release new episodes. So we started out 2021 with kind of a similar kind of a video where we kind of looked forward through the year to kind of pick some of the albums that we were really anticipating at that time. And after going back and watching that video, there's only one album that I talked about in that video that ended the year on my top 5 list.
Really?
So, yeah.
Did they? I mean, they all came out though, right?
Yeah, well, not all of them came out because we talked about the Cure album, which we're going to talk about a little bit today. That did not come out. I think there's a couple other ones that didn't end up happening also.
Right.
So, but some of the ones I did talk about, they'll end up being really good albums. But some of the albums that really kind of blew me away in 2021, I had no clue were even going to be in existence at the beginning of the year. So,
right. Well, it's still early in the year too. There's a lot of stuff that
hasn't been announced.
Hasn't been announced.
Yeah.
It might not even be finished yet, but might still come out this year.
Yeah.
That, we'd love to talk about. And
Yeah,
we'll talk
and some of the stuff I'll kind of breeze through some of these just because some of these are just kind of wishful thinking, I guess. But I mean, I guess there is some talk of a new album out there, and it has been several years since some of these bands have released new albums.
Yep.
But Metallica is one that I've seen talked about quite a bit.
And that would be cool. Fantastic if they have a new album.
Yeah, when did Hardwire for Self-Destruct come out? Was that 2018?
Yeah, I think so. 2018.
2018, I think that was. Guns N' Roses' Hard School EP comes out on February 25th. It's not a new album from Guns N' Roses, but it's going to be a couple of, I think, two of the two new singles that they've done over the course of the past year. Yeah. And then I think there's like 3 live tracks on there. So
it's new Guns N' Roses.
It's new Guns N' Roses, so I'll definitely pick that one up. I'm interested to see. I'm not a huge Korn fan. Yeah. Requiem comes out on February 4th. That is an album that I was a fan of their first couple of albums, and not so much after that. So I'll definitely stream Requiem when it comes out. Weezer is a band that's really kind of interesting because they're releasing 4 new albums in 2022. They're doing one for each season, so it's going to be spring, summer, fall, and winter. And they're supposed to, from what I've read, they're going to release those 4 albums on the first day of each season.
Rivers Cuomo said about 10 years ago that he only tours for them to finance the band. He'd much rather just be in the studio all the time.
Yeah,
he says if he could put out 5 or 6 albums a year, he'd be all right with that. Yeah. This is obviously them doing that.
Well, I think they've had a lot of time over the course of the past year and a half to do nothing but
they did
record.
Tour last year. I mean, we saw them.
That's true. That's true. We did see them. They were on the Hella Mega tour. So I guess they did tour. Paramore is another band that's rumored to release a new album. Porcupine Tree is a band that their album comes out. It's Closure Continuation is the name of it. It comes out June 22nd. So that's one that I'll definitely stream. I've never really listened to a lot of Porcupine Tree stuff. Ian was playing me some stuff earlier. Had kind of a Pink Floyd-ish kind of vibe to the stuff I heard. So you guys know I'm a big sucker for Pink Floyd. So I'll definitely check that out. Red Hot Chili Peppers is a band that's rumored to be releasing a new album this year.
Another one that's very exciting.
Yeah. And like I said in the opening, The Cure, Robert Smith talked about early last year. Actually, I think it was like the end of 2019. He did an interview where he was talking about the new album that was basically done at that time.
Right.
So I really thought it was going to come out last year. He said this is some of the best stuff he's done. It's supposed to be a fantastic album from what I've heard. I can't wait
because they haven't put anything out since I could be wrong. I should look, but I think it was 2008 was the last time they put out a new album.
It's been a long time since they've had a new album. One that I'm really looking forward to. It's coming out early part of the year. It's coming out February 25th, and that is Love Sucks by Avril Lavigne. You guys know I'm a big punk fan, big pop punk fan, whatever you want to call it. And this is an album that it's produced by John Feldman, which he's done a lot of great stuff over the last decade or so. He's also the frontman for Goldfinger. But this is also an album that Mod Sun helped kind of co-wrote a lot of the stuff on there. Are you looking that up?
Yeah, 2008. I just started.
2008. Okay.
I'm weird about that. I have to make sure.
You have to check it out. Yeah. So yeah, John Feldman is doing a lot of work on. He's doing a lot of producing on here. Travis Barker is going to be featured a lot. He helped create a lot of this album. Like I said, Mod Sun. I'm really looking forward to that Avril Lavigne album for sure. Mm-hmm.
So the big one for me, and this is going to be no surprise to anybody, but Jethro Tull's new album's coming out. It'll be 5 days after this video goes up. It's called The Zealot Gene.
Technically, this is the first Jethro Tull album in 22 years? 21 years?
It depends on how you classify it. If you go by the Christmas album...
I don't.
Which I don't either. But
I don't think most people do.
A lot of people do. A lot of the articles I've read about the album, they go by that.
Yeah.
And that was 2003, so that was 18 years ago, or 19 years ago. But if you go by the official last studio Jethro Tull, it's 23 years.
Okay.
It'll be 23 years in August.
Yeah. So 22 years now.
22 years now, yeah. Since the last official Jethro Tull album. Ian Anderson's released a lot of solo albums since then.
Yeah, he's done Thick as a Brick 2 was a...
Homo Eradicus, Secret Language of Birds.
But Thick as a Brick 2 was packaged with Thick as a Brick. As a dual...
only in the vinyl.
Yeah, that's what I mean on the box set though. Right. So.
But as a CD it was released. And it was released as Ian Anderson of Jethro Tull does Thick as a Brick 2.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's still technically a solo album by that standard. But to me, it's always been kind of, Ian's work is...
He's always been kind of the
primary
figurehead of Jethro Tull.
Out of the 400 songs that have been written for Jethro Tull music and solo stuff, it's all been Ian Anderson with maybe about 20 exceptions.
Yeah. Another album that's been rumored for several years now that I'm hoping comes out this year is Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness Part 2.
Yeah.
And Smashing Pumpkins has been working on this album for at least the last year or so. And, because I know there was a big rift between the band members there for, 15 years.
Right.
So that kind of put a hold on a lot of the music over that time period. But it seems like everyone's been working well together so far. And from what I've read, the album seems to be almost done. But, I said the same thing last year about the new Cure album, and that never happened. So this is definitely one of those albums that I'm really hoping comes out because Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness is one of my favorite 90s albums.
Yeah.
And it, even though it's probably not my favorite Smashing Pumpkins album, it's definitely up there. So
it's an album that kind of exemplifies that latter part of the 90s.
Yeah,
us,
absolutely.
At least, but I think in general, too. So I'm super excited, and I'm one of those weirdos that kind of like some of the latter-day Smashing Pumpkins stuff. You know?
The stuff I've listened to is actually pretty good. Yeah. So I'm definitely excited to see that one finally get released.
So for my next one, it's actually a twofer. Jack White's releasing 2 albums this year.
He's cheating.
I'm cheating. Something tells me it'll spread. Yeah, so he's got 2 albums coming out, and he says they're different. They're going to have a different mood to them. It's excited to see what he has coming. He's got the last single he released, which is going to be on the first one that comes out in... I don't remember when it comes out. It's April, I think? I think it's April and July.
Yeah, something like that. That sounds all right.
Or late March, something like that.
The first half of the year.
The single off of that one is really good, and he says the first one's going to have a harder edge to it, and the second one's going to be a lighter sound. So we'll see how it goes. I'm excited.
Yeah, Jack White's done his. I don't know. For me, he's been kind of up and down in his solo career.
One album.
Yeah, just I would say down on one album for sure. But overall, he's had some great music over the last 20 years. Yeah, so I'm definitely interested to check those 2 albums out. Mm-hmm. All right, since Ian cheated with his last one, I'm going to cheat with this one. Machine Gun Kelly is an artist that he had a brief, maybe not a brief rap career, but he had a rap career prior to getting into the punk rock scene a couple of years back with Tickets to My Downfall. And, Tickets to My Downfall was definitely my top 2 or 3 albums when it was released in 2020. Just a great album. And he's actually releasing 2 albums this year. The first one is Born with Horns, which neither one of these have a release date yet.
Okay.
And the second album is untitled at this point. So, he has said that where Tickets to My Downfall was much more of a early 2000s punk rock album, this next album is going to be a heavier album, a little more lyric-driven, more guitar-driven album. So it's going to have more of an alternative rock kind of feel to it from what I've heard of the discussion of some of the music on there. So definitely one I'm looking forward to.
I liked, for what it's worth, I like Tickets to My Downfall. It's not really my style of punk that I like, but
Yeah.
It's a good album. It's a go-to album. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So for my next one, this may not appeal to Nick so much necessarily, but Ghost, the band Ghost, has a new album coming out actually pretty quickly, March 11th.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the movie from the 80s. Or was it early 90s?
That was early 90s, I think. Patrick Swayze will not be appearing on this album. But no, it's called Imperium. I think there's a couple people on our Facebook page who really like Ghost. I'm only fairly new to them. I've only been listening to them a couple years, but I really like their music a lot. I think musically, it's like I was telling you off camera. I think musically you'd like it. Lyrically, it's a little demonic.
Yeah.
But that's okay. It doesn't bother me any. But yeah, I'm really looking forward. The first single was released this week off of the album, and it's really good. I've listened like 5 times.
Is the track that was in Halloween Kills going to be? Yeah. I like that. I thought that was a good track.
Yeah, Hunter's Moon is going to be on the new album as well, and that one's been out since October. But that's a really good song too. So yeah, if you like Ghost, check this out because I think this album's going to be really good.
Yeah, it comes out March 11th.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So if you guys have watched the channel for a while, you know I'm a big Blink-182 fan.
No, I didn't know that.
You know?
No, it's a big surprise to me.
Big surprise to you? Yeah. They have been working on new material for much of the last 2 years. And actually, I expected an album to come out last year, but Mark Hoppus was diagnosed with cancer, and so he was kind of going through cancer treatments and all that stuff. So I think it's kind of delayed it. So hopefully we're going to see a new Blink-182 album this year. Yeah. If I had to bet money, we'd see one at some point this year. Their last 2 albums since Tom DeLonge left the band, which was California and Nine. Nine came out in 2019, I believe it was. Both of them are fantastic albums.
I would say Nine, you raved about that.
I did. It's a fantastic album for sure. And it was, I think Nine was much more reminiscent of their self-titled album from 2003. Which was probably my favorite Blink album. So, I'm definitely interested to see what kind of path they go down on this next album. So, definitely what I'm looking forward to.
So for my next one, we don't have a release date for this, and I guess this is still kind of under the realm of speculation. But it's like you, I would put money on this being out this year. Ozzy's been working on a new album for several months now.
It's
about almost a year, I would say.
I'd say almost a year at this point.
And so I'm really excited that there could be a new Ozzy album this year. It's very likely. Like I said, I'd put money on it coming out this year, but it'll probably be later in the year. Yeah, my guess.
I can't wait to check it out when it does get released because I thought Ordinary Man was a fantastic album.
Maybe one of Ozzy's best. Arguably,
I would say it's definitely for me. I think it was Ozzy's best album in 25 years.
Right.
So.
Yeah, well, I mean, you could argue that it's his best since No More Tears.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think Osmosis was a great album.
Yeah.
So definitely since Osmosis.
I would put Ordinary Man above Osmosis, but you're right. Osmosis is. I like all of Ozzy's albums, though. Even Black Rain, the one that most people hate. I love that album. There's some really good tracks on it.
Yeah. So hopefully we'll see a new Ozzy album for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
So my last one is one that, of course, I'm wearing their shirt today. Mxpx, they're celebrating their 30th anniversary as a band in 2022. So the rumor is they are going to have a new album at some point this year. They have released sporadically over the last year, have released some, not demos, but released some singles that they've kind of just recorded on the fly during lockdowns and things like that. So hopefully they're going to put everything together. I know they've been working on it. I've listened to Mike Herrera's podcast for the last year or so, and he's kind of talked about every once in a while. I kind of mentioned it that they have been in the studio working on the new album. So hopefully we're going to see that this year.
So for my last one, this is coming out real quick. I didn't even realize it was coming out this quick in February.
February 11th.
Eddie Vedder's solo album. It's his first official solo album.
Earthling, right? Is that the name of it?
I couldn't remember what it was. I didn't even know there's a single out for it. I haven't even listened to it yet. I'll be doing that right after we're done recording here. But I'm super excited because his last solo album, Ukulele Songs, came out in 2011, and I like that album. I don't know how it did.
I think I've only heard a couple of tracks.
Yeah, I don't know how commercially successful it was.
It charted, so it charted pretty high. I thought too.
I enjoyed it because it's it's Pearl Jam, but not Pearl Jam.
Yeah,
there's
it's a different side of Pearl Jam.
Yeah, it's different flavors and a little bit. I don't know. I just really enjoyed it, so I'm looking forward to a solo album coming out. And like I said, I didn't realize it so soon. I'm even more excited now because it's coming soon.
There's a lot of stuff I feel like is coming out the early part of the year. So.
Yeah. Well, and I think we've talked about this. The pandemic has probably provided artists with a lot of time to really sit down and maybe.
Oh, you mean like Weezer doing 4 albums?
4 albums, yeah. Well, any artist. I mean, I think the output kind of coming out from the next year or two, as a result of the previous 2 years, I think it's going to could potentially be very good for all of us.
I think so.
Music fans.
I think so.
Across the board, whether it's rock or hip hop or metal, whatever you like, I think you're going to get some new, interesting stuff coming out.
Well, that's all we got for you today, guys. Thanks for checking the show out. Drop us a comment down below. Let us know what some of your most anticipated albums of 2022 are. Because I know we've gone through a bunch of them here today. So and there's a bunch more out there.
We're still in January.
Yeah, exactly. So
a lot more to come.
There's a bunch of stuff out there. Let us know what you guys are looking forward to. If you enjoyed the episode, make sure you give us the old thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button down below. Hit that notification bell. That's all we got. Until next time.
Talk to y'all later.
Keep on spinning. Peace.